You got a heart of gold.
Thank you, Neil Young.
Well, you're welcome, Neil Younger.
I gotta live. I gotta ride. This trouble, something from a heart of gold. I wanna live. Yeah, man. Shout out to Butch Escobar right here with the scrolls.
What's happening? I had to write notes on this thing.
Also, man, all those stuff is for sale, man. If you want to have a collection of the scrolls.
Boo, we got these scrolls, these memorabilias for you collectors out there.
We still have his Bible. Remember the Bible?
We got the Bible still right here somewhere. It's down here somewhere. Maybe it got moved, but we have it around the office somewhere. I was thumbing through it the other day. But yeah, we have the Bible still. We should auction that stuff off or something. Get a couple bucks for it.
Oh, you're talking about harmonicas? That dude from Monterey or whatever, up north by... He always shows up with wine. He plays in a blues band, Latino guy. He gave me a Raider jacket one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he always shows up to the shows.
Huh. I try to remember.
He gave it. I think he gave me this one.
He gave you that harmonica?
Because one time he was holding one, and I started blowing it, and he grabbed it real hard. Bro, I was playing with that shit for 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean...
Man, did you put in somebody's ass or what? What's going to happen in my mouth? Imagine.
Oh, no, that's so gross.
Yeah, man. So welcome back to the History for Foos.
Welcome back.
I see you're out there putting on those comments. Keep coming. Keep putting those comments. There was 91 live listeners last week. I was chatting with them, bro.
Yeah. That was, you were up pretty early then the next day because you partied pretty hard the night before.
Where was I at?
We had the, oh no, never mind.
Oh, that's right. I did party though because I went to the LAFC and Club America soccer game, bro.
Okay.
Oh my God, dog.
How was that?
Oh my God. That shit was crazy, bro. First of all, LAFC, Los Angeles Football Club, they were outnumbered in the stands 5-1.
Really?
Club America is yellow, blue, and red colors.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. The right side of me where I was sitting was all yellow, like fucking yellow.
Wow.
The left side, in front of me, all yellow. And then where I was sitting at, it was like scattered, bro, yellow and black, but mostly yellow. I was sitting on the bottom, bro, with the celebrities. I was chilling with McCullough Culkin.
No shit.
Yeah, man. If you want to walk up to him, the best way to approach him is call him Mac. He likes to be called Mac.
He likes Mac.
So when I saw him, I remembered when I met him on the Eric Andre show, he said, "Call me Mac." I'll never forget that. So I saw him finally. I said, "What's up, Mac?"
Do you remember you?
He goes, "Hey,
nice.
It's me, Felipe. We're on the Eric Andre show with your wife." And then his lady's song.
Right.
And, bro, they started talking, bro, and he ended up being a real cool guy. He didn't take too many photos with somebody, but he did make it somebody's day, though. There was this, cholo motherfucker, right, taking a photo with me by the bathrooms, and I waved at him from far away.
Yeah.
And that full photo, Mac McCoken photobombed.
He did. He photobombed. That's hilarious, dude. That's great. That's a great. Whoever that guy is, he got a great fucking photo.
He didn't even know, bro. Sure. After he left, I said, "Look at that photo, bro. You have a special photo right there." And he opened it, Mac McCoken like this.
That's great. For that guy, that's dope, dude.
Bro. You ever heard of the fucking 50-yard line? Can you look up a video and show it? I'll tell you when to show it. The club is called 52, 51, 52, 53 Club. I don't know. You know, they have the fucking... the black hole, right?
Yeah, like the for the Raiders.
Okay, bro, and then everybody roots, right?
Right.
Okay, just remember, bro, that the LAFC fans were outnumbered. But there was this section, bro. They call it the north side, the north end, bro. I didn't know that LA Football Club has so many hooligan Latino fans.
No way,
like
really?
The most I've ever seen. They have 9
really
different clubs, and they're all run by 9 different guys. And bro, if you show that video, bro, how crazy it got, bro. Right before the game, right when the game started, bro.
Really?
Kickoff. As soon as they say kickoff, they fucking started World War III back there, bro. Dale, 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 gol, gol, dale, 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 gol. Those people in that section together, bro, shot off fireworks, bro. During the show, before the game, it got pitch black where they were sitting, bro. You couldn't see nothing.
Because of the fireworks?
Because of the fireworks.
Holy shit, dude. Highlights and goals.
Just look up LAFC fans at the LAFC fanatic fans at the Club America game, and you'll see, bro, how crazy it got. Yeah, man. So let's start it, bro. It was like they were chanting through the whole game. There it is, bro. Look.
Oh, fuck. Look at that plume of smoke above them.
Look, bro, that's nothing, bro. Look at the other side. The other side, too.
Wow.
So they had a big black smoke that covered up the whole stadium on that side. And then Club America fanatic fans on the other side. Look, bro.
Fuck.
That's one club with a hammer right there. That's another club with a skull.
So these are like
and that's the Brazilian LAFC fans.
Those fans clubs, like those clubs are like they're like different clubs but for the same team. Right? And those are hooligans.
They unite.
Those are hooligan clubs.
Basically, but not yet. But they're trying to throw out LAFC to be known all over the world.
Really? Is it that good of a team?
Bro, let me tell you, man. The team, they were throwing bottled waters at the. Look at that shit, bro. Look at that.
That's insane, dude.
Look, fireworks flying, bro. You can hear it with the headphones. You can see like pa pa pa. Look, it got blacker than that, dog. That's like the beginning of it.
Holy fuck,
bro!
it
was insane, bro. You cannot stop. Look,
wow,
dog.
Look at that middle. Look at that center cloud.
Look at that, dog. Look,
yeah.
It was and then the other side was the same thing, but in yellow smoke, bro. It was insane. Look at that shit, bro. It was insane, dog.
I did not know LA was that crazy about their soccer.
Look, that's Mexican.
Whoa, bro, that's crazy.
I'm right there, bro. I'm looking at McCullough Coken right there. I'm in the mix, bro. I wasn't trying to get into the camera, plus I didn't know where the camera was. I threw, bro, that was a bottle of water being thrown at them. I saw that,
like a cup of water or something. Holy shit. There you are. I just saw you right now.
Oh, there you go, bro.
You got a shirt and your hat on.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you were back there somewhere.
It was insane, bro.
No, those guys further back.
Those guys, and okay. And there's one hardcore LA football club fan from German that came in there, bro, and had a big
German. There you are again.
Yeah. He had a big German flag, bro, with the LAFC on it.
No shit.
Look at that. But look at the yellow, bro. You can't. You gotta give Club
bro.
America a shout out. But yeah, man,
wow.
we were outnumbered.
But you guys were outnumbered in your own home.
But look at that smoke,
in your
bro.
own home.
Try doing that at a 49ers game.
No.
It'll be the end of that section.
Bro, all those white people would call the cops, bro. All those white people would call the cops. Yeah, that's the thing, dude, is that the Niners, I love Niner fans.
But that's something
I'm a Niner fan, but that's never going to happen.
They took my lighter on the way in. Where did these guys hide these fireworks?
Oh, matches. Matches are a thing.
Matches.
Fireworks stove. Dude, yeah, but they want that smoke to be like that, right? Those
are flares, bro.
Yeah, those are flares, dude. Where the fuck are they hiding that shit?
And these guys, bro, were holding 6-foot poles in those flags.
Dude, what the fuck? Yeah, how are you hiding? Because I go through the line myself, and I gotta dude, I've gotten caught. Like, they've taken my vape pen away. I know.
Anyway, so that was that, bro.
Wow, that fucking looked exciting, dude.
I know you guys are listening to this conversation for the second time because I think we talked about it on the What's Up Fool podcast.
Oh, did you guys already talk about it on the
Maybe earlier we had the host of True Hustle podcast. I invited him to the soccer game. So I had Johnny there taking photos, of course.
Nice.
Look, bro, look at that shit.
Bro, that's amazing. I want to go now, dude.
July 22nd, bro. They're playing Mazatlan.
I'm down, dude.
And the guy hooks it up with the tickets, bro.
July 22nd? Oh, fuck. Look at that
Look
yellow
at that,
smoke.
dog. That's fireworks
Yeah,
up
how
there.
do they get those in there, dude? The black smoke, the yellow smoke? Bro.
Let me tell you, bro. And you're trying to close the border? Come on.
Yeah, dog. It's too late.
Too late, bro. It is too late.
We're already here, dog. Wow, bro. Yeah, I totally want to
See,
go.
look at everybody wearing
dude.
yellow. Everybody yellow.
Look at all that, dude. That's crazy.
That's Club America fans, bro. Insane. Huh?
I want to go.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
like you should have bust that out at a 49ers game
never
or a
gonna
Raider
happen.
game. With that
Even
much
at a
smoke,
Raiders game.
that much smoke,
Yeah. At Oakland Coliseum.
that
they
much
would never let that
excitement, that
happen.
much noise.
Yeah. Fuck
They
no.
were like LAFC was just as loud as Manchester United
Okay.
or Aventuras.
So you've been to
loud.
You've obviously been to Raider games.
Yeah.
And you've been to some rowdy ass Raider games.
Not that loud, bro.
It's rowdier at soccer games.
That's rowdy, bro.
No shit, dude. And then you've been to them in Europe too. Are they? Oh yeah, that's just. You know what though, bro? This is a different kind of rowdy. Like that's the thing is like these guys are just fighting just to fight and be dickheads, dude. Like
These guys wanna like they could be 49er fans fighting each other,
right.
but then okay, I'm not gonna fight him, but now that I find out he lives in Fresno, we're gonna fight.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have the same respect. I mean, I didn't see anybody fighting in the soccer game. I just saw a lot of smoke and people having a good time. And that right there is primarily why I stopped going to fucking football games. Because
Bro.
it's like, you guys can't even fucking behave yourselves amongst each other.
That's why they gotta hire the Chicano Squad to arrest these
The
people.
Chicano Squad.
Orale, where everybody has the same haircut as Leonard Velasquez.
It's a squad of Leonard Velasquez's.
I'm telling you, bro, if they don't put me in that show when they make it, I'm gonna fucking protest outside, bro.
Bro, I know.
wasn't written like that. Somebody called the host of the podcast. Bro, and the best thing about the Chicano Squad, not to get fast forward and all that,
Sure.
there it is, Leonard Velasquez to the
Dude,
right.
those are all different versions of my dad.
Oh my God! Like the one second
Those
to
are all different versions
second
of
to
my
the
dad.
right. That's your dad now.
That's my dad now.
And the one I met was the one to the right. And the one that you probably know is a mean asshole with a mustache.
That's my dad right there. Yeah, that's my dad growing up.
And your Uncle Gilbert back
Dude,
there.
that's my dad growing up, and the guy on the second to the far right is my dad now.
Okay.
And then the guy behind them in the middle, that's my dad in the future.
Can I say something about those bad suits?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is exactly what my dad wears. that guy on the far left is how
But
my
your
dad.
dad's not an investigator. He's just wearing a bad suit. Okay, man. When you're a homicide squad,
Yeah.
when you're a homicide detective, you're going to go walk into a lot of evidence. You're going to walk into a lot of places that's dirty because most crime scenes are not clean. They're all filthy.
Right.
There's fucking feces. There's defecation.
Fuck yeah.
There's stuff that they leave out of Miami Vice and CSI Miami and Law and Order.
There's a lot. You don't
Okay,
get to see,
you watch a police show. The costumer always takes a lot of liberties and like CSI Miami. They dress like GQ, bro.
Right.
And Miami Vice also.
Miami Vice. Oh, almost
It's hard to find a show, a television show. Also, even Trent, whatever that. He wears good clothes. When you walk into a crime scene, you gotta have the most raggediest, payless shoe stores, shit that people give away at skate parks, you know,
Right.
or
yeah.
cheap shoes that are leather, because you're gonna step on blood. You're gonna step on shit.
I had a friend who
Also, man,
Yeah.
when you walk into
they don't
those
dress
pants
like
right there, those pants that he's wearing,
Yeah.
they'll be done after like one
Oh,
investigation.
bro. Yeah, dude.
Because
those-
you're gonna walk on stuff. You need pants that you could just throw away after the next day, because you're not after to look cute. And there's a lot of dirty stuff, bro. Most of those suits that they wear
Yeah.
are from the Men's Warehouse, cheap shit, bro.
Well, that's exactly what. So, the first guy, the guy on the far right of that one, Cecil Mosqueda,
Put it back to the cops.
when this first, not to jump ahead, but when this first thing started, he was like, I didn't even own a suit, and they're like, you got to dress up in a suit. Oh no, the Chicano Squad cops.
The line in the movie or the show is gonna be like this, bro.
So that
When
guy
he
on the
says-
far right was like, I never owned a suit in my entire life, and when they signed me up for this, I had to go to the Men's Warehouse.
You could tell that he never wore a suit, bro. Like who wears a clip on that long?
None of these guys did. None of these guys wore suits when they first started.
If they have a television show, that line's gonna be changed to, I don't have a suit. I've never been to court. Or I never did my first communion.
Yeah.
Because you know, bro, if you're Chicano like those guys are,
Yeah.
Chicano.
Chicanos. Those are Chicanos.
When they did their
too, by
first
the way.
communion, their dad probably bought them some cheap-ass black pants, some cheap-ass black shoes that he's going to wear those for graduation.
Your church clothes,
and they're going to
bro.
be tight.
Your church clothes. Did you have church clothes? Or did you?
I'm not like you, bro. I didn't grow up rich, bro, where I had church clothes.
I didn't grow up
and I
rich
didn't have
either,
fucking
bro.
play
I had
clothes.
Kmart
I didn't
clothes.
have, you're not a kid that go, I got to go put on my play clothes.
Yeah.
I was that kid that got home, bro, and my mom told me to take those clothes off and don't dirty them. You're gonna wear that shit tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's when I thought I was gonna be a clothing designer, bro. Growing up, I thought I was gonna be like somebody that designs clothes or dresses people up. Because I used to wear the same clothes. Like if I wear this on Monday,
It would be the same.
I would have to wear this shit on Tuesday and Wednesday, bro, till it got dirty. So, bro, on Monday I wear it like this. On Tuesday, I zip it up, bro.
To make it look different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, I tie it on my waist.
Ah.
On Thursday, I carry it like a cholo, bro, all hard. On Friday, bro, I just don't wear it, bro. Leave it at home.
Right. Did you really have to wear the same clothes every day?
Yeah, bro. People thought I was stuck up, bro, because I didn't really talk to a lot of people, and because they thought I went to a private school.
Oh my God, bro!
They thought I went to a private school because I wear the same clothes.
You wore the same clothes every day. Was that a matter of like it was because you guys were poor,
They used to call me groundhog.
or was it because like your mom didn't want to do laundry, or you didn't feel like changing your clothes?
No, bro. Come on, man. I didn't even know. The thought of changing clothes was not even in my head.
Right.
'Cause my mom made me wear the same shit.
You never even thought about that, and then you weren't even like, bro, I'm wearing the same thing every day.
I was a house slave, bro. I was brought up like a pop band, but they never given instruments.
You're like a waiter without a menu.
I feel I was being trained for something, bro. I had routines,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you have to at that point.
And then my brother, bro, he used to wear the shit I wore after I wore it.
Your little brother or your older brother?
My little brother.
Your little brother. Did you wear your older? Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
Okay, so you always got the new clothes. You lucky son of a bitch, dude. Yeah, dude. Good for you, bro. You got the new clothes.
But my little brother were like closer to each other, so they got better clothes. Like
Okay.
Like they got Levi's,
Right.
I had Lee's.
Ah, that sucks.
But they had Converse,
You had the Payless shoe.
I had Huaraches, bro.
The XJ900s, dude. Do you remember the XJ900s?
I'm telling you, bro, I didn't grow up like you, bro.
Those are
Is
Payless
that a
shoes.
car?
Bro, that's Payless shoes. Those
Is
are
that
like
a fast car?
bro, that was like the symbol of you were a poor kid, is if you had the XJ900s versus the Converse. Or
Well,
the,
I had
like,
those
they were
shoes.
like the $20 Air Jordans.
I had those shoes that looked like Pumas, but the back had a little tail. Don't laugh. Those are my whales.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Had a little.
They were whaleys. No, they're called.
Oh yeah, those are the XJs.
Oh, they're sad, bro.
Yeah, those are the
Yeesh.
XJ900s, bro. They were supposed to look like Jordans. That's what they
Are
were.
those Jordans? No, the DCW. I wish.
Yeah, dude. I had to wear those shoes. I had to
Look
wear
for
those shoes.
Stadias. STAD.
Oh, bro.
They can't even write stadium, bro.
Stadias were like,
STADIUS.
bro.
And all the colors.
Stadias meant you were living with your grandparents, dog.
Put out Stadia Suede.
You know what? Those look pretty dope now, dude.
Oh, bro, they had before that. Look for the whale logo.
Whale logo.
Right next to it, put whale. Shoes with whale logo. But we're looking like a whale.
Look like a whale.
Those saddest shoes, bro. They are those, bro.
Kenny,
There they
that's
go.
what it was.
That
it was
is.
Kenny.
That's it, bro. The one up there. Oh, yeah. That's it right there. Oh, my God.
That one.
Yeah, Kenny.
Yeah, that's where you used to get that's so before.
Oh, so Kenny was worse than Stadia's.
Yeah, well, Kenny's was the shoe store that.
Oh my God! People laugh at me when my Adidas shoe had
Those four striped
Yeah.
Adidas, dude.
Those were bro. I used to try to like rip that motherfucker off at night. Bro, I gotta
like
lie.
take a laser.
I had
like
those.
a razor. To
I had
it.
those shoes, and at nighttime, bro, I would break my nail, bro, trying to take that extra stripe off.
Yeah, Kenny's was Payless before it was Payless.
That guy's an actor, bro. That's the guy from your mom.
Yeah, who is that guy?
He's from Mama's House.
The main character from Mama's House.
Yeah,
No.
the son-in-law. The son, that's him.
Oh shit! The guy looks familiar. He looks familiar as fuck.
Oh, that's that Kenny's.
Yeah, Kenny's shoes. That's what my mom. That's so originally it was Kenny's, and then it went to Payless Shoes.
You had Kenny's?
Yeah, we always. My mom, dude. Even when my parents did get money, like, cause my parents didn't have a lot of money when we were younger. It wasn't until like I was a little older that my parents started. We were middle class, as they called us. But my mom never.
That's sad ass shoe.
My mom never switched. My mom was like, "Hey, bro, when the starter jackets came out and everybody had Raider jackets and like Niner jackets, my mom went to Safeway and bought a fake starter jacket for me for my birthday, bro." And like always, the XJ900s, never shoes.
Those came with a box of ballpark Franks.
What?
That jacket.
Which one? Oh, yeah. It literally did. It came free with like 5 Nabisco products.
Oh no,
or something.
ballpark Franks, because they were promoting a sports. They plump when you cook them.
That'd be worth something though if it was like a Raider jacket with Oscar Mayer underneath.
I'm having like you say it, a flashback that's sad, thinking about those Kenny shoes, bro.
Yeah,
Because
bro.
I remember I was dating this girl, and my homeboy said, "Come on, dog, she got those fake ass K-Swiss. They're Kenny Swiss."
Those are Kenny Swiss.
And they were white, but you could still see there was a fourth stripe,
A
bro.
fourth stripe. Yeah, you get the white ones.
Because K-Swiss had 2 stripes, right?
K-Swiss had 2.
Yeah.
And that was acceptable because they kind of like...
It was K-Swiss.
Well, they were almost as old as Adidas. So you
K-Swiss
kind of were
was
like,
still
all
legit.
right.
K-Swiss was a lot of when a pimp was relaxing, which kind of shoe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
dude.
I used to see this pimp, bro. He used to come to my neighborhood with all his hoes because they'll take them. But
Nice.
bro, he was he goes, there it is, bro. Oh.
K-Swiss. You know what? Because they look like shell toes. That's the
Those
thing.
are fake K-Swiss, right? Are the real K-Swiss?
Yeah, those are the ones on the right are real K-Swiss.
Looking
So
for
one,
the
two,
Kenny
3, 4.
Swiss are
They have
horrible.
5 stripes. K-Swiss was like, we don't want to be anything like Adidas. So they did 5 stripes. That's right. They have a ton of stripes.
So the fake K-Swiss have 2 or 5, 7, bro.
Like, right. It's 7. And the fake Adidas have 4 or 3.
That's the
2.
Kenny.
Kenny shoes, bro. Yeah, your mom didn't shop for you at Kenny's?
No, man. But we had those shoes. I don't know where she got them, bro. Probably
The Stadias. You had Stadias, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a whale.
Yeah, Stadias were...
I knew it was a Salvadorian kid, bro.
Uh,
I don't know why I mentioned that first, but he was my neighbor. His shoes straight up said on the back, this is what it said. I ain't gonna lie. Bubble Gummers. Bubble Gummers.
shoes. Was the name of the shoe?
And they were like, they sold cheap, broke ass Nike Cortez.
Bubble Gummers.
Look it up, bro. Bubble Gummers.
Bro, Nike.
Yeah, those are real, bro. Those are sad, dog.
They are like, look at, because the one on the right, if you go back up a little bit, and then the one on the far right, the red and blue one, I could see how those were looking like Cortezes. Those are exactly like Cortezes, actually.
Yeah, man, it was a sad ass adult shoe back in kid shoe, bro.
The thing is that Cortezes were the cheap shoe when we were growing up, right?
I used to roast that fool.
Even
bro.
though like Cholos wore them, it was because they were like cheap. But
I couldn't roast that kid, so I had to roast his older brother, bro. When I saw him,
dude, have you?
What's up with your brother, bro? I saw him chewing down the street the other day.
Have you?
When you walk, bro, your shoes sound like this. But I wouldn't tell that kid because I don't want to make him cry, but I'll tell his brother.
Yeah, it's weird how kids would get upset when you made fun of them for being poor, like they had any control over it.
But you don't know that. You don't know that when you're a kid.
You don't know that, dude. And that's the thing, though, is like, I don't ever remember once telling another kid, like, I'll talk to my mom and dad about that when I get home.
I just wrote a Home Alone movie for 2025.
God, let's go.
You know how Macaulay Culkin wakes up and his family's gone?
Yeah.
It'll be a little Latino kid. He shows up from school and his parents are gone. But he has no idea why they're gone. But the audience knows why they're gone. So throughout the movie, that fool is killing like people that are trying to break in, and they're all ICE agents. And he sets up these elaborate Viet Cong traps. Like he turns into the little Rambo motherfucker.
So he kills like 20 cops.
Like he puts up like traps, bro, all over like Rambo. Like he's obsessed with Rambo.
Right. Oh yeah, so he's obsessed with Rambo.
But
so
he's home alone.
He sets up like punji sticks and like fucking like that thing that comes out and like stabs the guy in the arm, dude. Yeah, all right, I'm down with it. And it's ICE agents.
Yeah.
We need that in our hearts right now.
Or it could be bounty hunters, whoever, but somebody's looking for them.
I like ICE agents, especially right now. But if there's a bit of a flaw in that though, because we're the parents then.
They're deported, of course.
Well, then why are the ICE agents coming back?
They're looking for one more kid. They went to a school, but they have to go to a private school, bro.
This is a good Home Alone, bro. I would go see this just for this, just for all of that.
They call it Juan Alone.
I'm gonna spit that out into the mic. I almost ruined your mic, Ray.
And he doesn't notice it, right? Because that kid's at school, and he keeps looking at the photo of his family, and they're disappearing, but he doesn't know why.
Oh, so we're mixing in fucking
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future now? Okay, all right. This is good, dude. This is good. If we get a call after this releases, I want a part of the residuals on this.
But imagine, bro, that movie, you change the whole movie around, and you just say, this movie is about a kid who's a superhero from another planet, and these agents from the other planet came to Earth to grab his family and take them back to the other planet where they belong. But this kid realizes what happens because his family gave him a little iPod, and he's watching his family disappear. And he's getting an alert not to go home yet. And when he gets home, he realizes that he pressed the button on the couch, and all these weapons come out, and he turns into like this fucking Blue Beetle motherfucker, bro.
We're at 5 movies now.
And he goes out and he fucking flying around Earth. He goes to the Air Force. And he takes out this convict from there, bro. That he deputized him, bro, because that guy knows how to use his shield. And they all fly out to that planet to kill the agents. What movie is
that?
Bro, I'm just saying it's the same movie. But this is how you sell it to white people.
Right, you're right. This is how you sell it to white people, though.
It's the same movie.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous, dude.
You like the Terminator, bro. Oh, yeah. I'm looking for Santa Connors.
No, this is how you sell. Do you want to know how you sell a movie to white people? Okay, Back to the Future. All right, we see with different actors. How crazy is that? That's what fucking Hollywood is to me right now, dude. It's fucking remake after remake, and it's like, oh, fucking.
It'll be like this: Back to the Future versus Home Alone, and it ends with Born in East LA. Boom.
And Blue Beetle saves
Somebody
everybody.
call the showrunner of Lopez show. She needs a job.
We're gonna call it Blue Beetle 3.
Because they took away 2. And we're looking for it.
Dude.
What's up, man? Chicano Squads, man, with officers that were hired in Houston, Texas, during a time of turmoil in the 70s.
Yes.
Right there, man. We have Leonard Velasquez, Carlos Polino. I don't know their names, bro.
Leonard Velasquez. Okay, so the OG members, you have 6 of them right there. You have Cecil Masquera, Jose Silvera, Jim Montero, who is the guy who started all that. I don't know which. I think he's the guy on the far back there. Yes. Yupi Hernandez, Joe De Leon, and Bobby Gatewood.
Bobby Gatewood.
We're gonna find out
And Gatewood. Check
why
this
they don't
out.
talk about him too much in this story.
He's Gatewood. Anyway, so during this time, man, there was a lot of people who didn't like the cops, kind of like now.
No.
And back then there was no cops that were like Mexican back then or brown
Spanish at all.
or spoke Spanish at all. So man, not to go too back, but the first black officer that was ever hired in Houston or Atlanta, I don't know where it was. It could be Houston.
Houston.
The first black officer to ever be hired. I went in a rabbit hole one time, and maybe like 4 years ago, and that fool said that he was not allowed to arrest white people.
No way.
Yeah, he could talk to them. He would have to hold them till a white officer shows up, and then that white officer would put handcuffs on him. He was not allowed to. He could detain, but not arrest a white person. And then I said, so I remember because I wrote a joke about that. Well, what happened, man, if a black dude, 2 black dudes and 2 white dudes rob a bank? Well, immediately would have to kill those 2 black brothers and hold the other 2 people to the.
For real, dude. That's the thing.
Yeah, so that was like that, bro.
That's
and
the injustice of this fucking
yeah,
country.
So they hire these 5 officers that were the 6 police officers.
Yeah.
And they take them out of their the regular police officer job. But let me tell you what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
I'm only guessing right now where the idea came from, but this is the first time I ever heard where they grab officers out of nowhere and put them into a detective squad out of the blue. Because there's a show called 21 Jump Street where they just grab random police officers and put them in a little squad where they're going to be detectives. Also, in maybe, I don't know if Aaron Spelling saw this article too, or
read about these guys.
I read about this, he probably did. When I meet Tori Spelling again, I'll ask her. Charlie's Angels were 3 women that were taken out of the LAPD and put in a little special squad to investigate and go undercover too. I'm just saying that the connection with the Chicano squads. But go ahead.
Right. So, yeah, and that's the thing is that this wasn't...
They made a special unit for them.
It's weird that we're hearing about this now because...
They hide our history, huh?
Well, all of Houston knew about this Chicano squad for a while, because it was a big deal back then. This is also the first time... So let me just give you...
I know a comedian from over there who didn't know about it.
Really? Uh-oh. Well, that person needs to do their... I don't know if they know about it now, but at the time that the Chicano squad was an active... investigation unit, they were well known for some time because of what had happened. But in 1979, Houston reached a record of 664 homicides.
Damn.
664 homicides.
In what year?
In 1979. And 1/4, that means a quarter of the victims were Hispanic and were Spanish-speaking origin. and just to give you an idea, what like how bad that is. Like, you have a quarter of people that were affected by homicides that are not even getting them solved because there's nobody speaking Spanish in the detective units. So they have one guy who's a detective. This is the guy who started the whole thing. His name's Jim Montero. So they would bring this guy in every once in a while to the homicide unit because they needed someone to speak Spanish on a certain case. And he would get there, and he was a robbery detective, right? He was just doing robbery. He was like the first Hispanic detective ever in Houston PD, that in itself is a big deal. So they're calling him over, having him. They go, "Oh, these people speak Spanish," so he starts working homicides with people that speak Spanish. And then he's doing all the work at this point. Not even like anybody's helping him. So he goes to the chief and he's like, "Let me put together a unit, or I need more help with this." Actually, that's what he was like. He didn't even say, "Let me put together a unit." He was like, "I need more help. So if I can get some more Spanish speaking officers." But Jim had a really good idea, bro. He had like a really dope idea in the back of his mind. He didn't put his plan out in the open for everybody to hear, but in his mind, he knew Chicano Squad was going to happen. Because he was like, I'm doing all the work, and if I can get a couple more other detectives or officers off the street to come in and then do all this detective work, then all of us could be detectives and we could have our own unit. So he was already shooting for the Chicano Squad. Because when he first approached Houston, the chief, it was an idea of like, let's just have Spanish speaking officers hang out with detectives.
Yeah.
And then learn and
shadow them.
Just shadow them, and then translate. But it's a white detective, bro. Like, if I'm a white detective and you're a Mexican guy back in 1979, and you're doing all the talking with this person, I'm gonna give you the pad too, because it's like, go ahead, you do all the fucking work.
Yeah, why not?
And so then that's what kind of happened, is that you had like these 6 guys who were doing actual detective work, and they were just officers. Like, you have to pass a detective's exam. You have to pass like a whole thing to get into being a detective. So
one more thing.
So that's the other thing too, bro. Is they're coming in as detectives in this department where white officers are also trying to be detectives. And so not only are they being shit on by people of their own color who don't like that they're cops, but now they're being shit on by their own kind who are cops who are jealous that they're making detective.
Hey, they went right away. They went from giving out tickets to being detectives. What's up with that?
I'll tell you why it happened too.
They move faster than brothers.
Bro, we totally fucking skipped over this part. My bad. What triggered this whole thing is the death of Jose Campos Torres. Did you?
A veteran that was minding his own business.
That's right, bro.
He just came out of the Vietnam War, and he was trying to find his foot in the world on how to do things in his life.
Sure. And in 1979, bro, you're a Mexican guy who just got out of the military, like
decorated,
bro. He was like an Army Ranger,
handsome.
But life isn't easy for that guy. Life is not easy for that guy, and because it's the 70s, and already for Vietnam vets, life isn't easy. But on top of all of that, fucking you're Mexican and you live in Texas. Like, it's got to be the worst, right? So anyway, he's arguing with this bartender over money. The bartender goes, "Get the fuck out of here." He's like, "I don't want to fucking leave," just like any other normal drunk patron. And then so the bartender, just like any normal bartender, goes, "I'm going to call the cops." And then the cops show up, and this guy's a Vietnam vet, and he's drunk, and he's in the Rangers, so he's not afraid of the fucking cops. So he starts talking shit to the cops, which, okay, you're not supposed to do that. And maybe you should go to jail or get in trouble. I don't know. But you shouldn't get beaten down, put in the car, and taken to a place called The Hole, which is right along the Buffalo Bayou. And that's what happened to this guy. And then they beat the fuck out of him. This is what's crazy. They beat the fuck out
Rodney
of him.
King style.
Worse than Rodney King style.
There were no cameras.
Well, they admitted Rodney King into the hospital when they took, because they beat the crap out of him first, took him to the hospital, and the hospital was like, we can't take this guy. You abused the fuck out of him. Take him to another hospital. So the cops were like, well, we don't know what to do with him. So they take him back to that place by the bayou, and they push him into the water. And then they go swim W back. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word on
They
YouTube.
said swim wetback?
Yeah, he's all, see if this wetback can swim. And so he pushes him into the water. And, there's witnesses that had heard it. And then his body comes floating up the next day. And he's supposed to be in the hospital, but he's not. And he's dead. And it's really easy to pinpoint who did it. And so they go after the cops who did it. And this is why I didn't bring this up first, because this is at the bottom of my notes here. So there's 5 officers involved. One of them was the one that didn't hit.
They were all white?
All of them were white.
Damn.
Only one of them didn't hit Torres. He was he was like a legacy cop. His dad was a cop. His name was Carlos Elliott. And so he went, when this all started to pop off and they found the body floating in the water, he went straight to the chief and was like, hey, I was there. These guys beat the fuck out of him. They killed him. Already at this point, Houston is facing a huge problem, especially in the Hispanic community, because not only are murders going unsolved, murders they're just happening, dude. There's one story in that pops up later in the Chicano Squad, and this is just to give you an idea of how bad it was. When the Chicano Squad starts, they give a caseload to all these different guys. And one of the things that the guy does is he takes his first case and he goes to a cantina and he walks in and he goes, I'm here to investigate this murder. And the girl's like, that was like 3 years ago. You guys are just showing up now?
Damn.
And he goes, yeah, well, now I'm going to figure it out. And she goes, well, just to let you know, he comes in every day still. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, he lives across the street. She goes outside and she points to his house. She goes, he lives there, but he comes in every day. And dude, so imagine how like pissed you are as a citizen of this in the city that you're Mexican, and just because you can't speak Spanish, you live in a world where there's no laws, bro.
Yeah.
There's no, bro, this guy got away with murdering someone virtually, bro. Like, just nobody did anything about it.
A Latino guy?
For years. Yeah, it was like a Hispanic on Hispanic crime. And that was the thing was that it wasn't like white people were coming and fucking up Mexican people. It was that Mexican people were fucking up Mexican people, and the cops were like, well, that's their problem because we don't speak Spanish. And so this huge...
A lot of lawlessness, huh?
Dude, a lot of lawlessness.
And then Latinos, they were taking advantage of the situation, huh? Like handling their own beefs.
Well, bad guys were taking advantage of the situation, like that guy in the bar. Like, he killed a guy, got away with it, and was walking into that bar, and the lady was like, he bullies everybody. He comes in, he drinks whenever he wants, he doesn't pay, but there's nothing we could do because he literally killed someone and you guys didn't do shit about it. So after the death of Jose Campos Torres, they dump him in the water. Like, they convict the cops, actually. Actually, the first round of court cases, the cops, 2 of the cops got off because they ratted out the other 2 cops, and those 2 cops convicted. You know how much time they got, bro? Guess how much time those cops got?
They got $1 fine,
for
right?
throwing a guy. Yeah, they fucking threw him in. Dude, they fucking gave him probation for a year, and they fined them each $1. $1, bro. How insulting is that to a community? Like, after the cops like deliberately kill someone, they fucking now just are like, they get off scot-free. And so the community is up in arms. They actually wait like almost a whole year on the day of the 1-year anniversary that Jose Campos Torres died. There's a huge festival, but there's so much tension. There's a fight happens between a girl and a guy, and then a bunch of guys get in the middle of it, and then a fight breaks out between these Mexican people, and then the cops decide, well, we're gonna break this up by fucking driving into the crowd. And so they drive into the crowd loses it, they start fucking up the cars, 4 officers get hurt, 1 fucking dies, dude. It's crazy. It's called the riots of Moody Park riots.
1978.
1978. So that's the thing is the chief is like, well, what do we do to cure this problem? We need Spanish speakers. So they start the Chicano Squad, and it's 6 guys who are out there, reporting, basically doing the detectives' jobs for the white detectives' jobs for them. Let's see. Oh yeah, and they were also given 90 days to. So this program got started, right? And these guys who never would have made it to detective are now detectives.
And first of all, describe the conditions they went into. They went to a small ass office with one desk.
Yeah, one desk, dude. A whole room full of guys and one desk to work on. Like that was the thing is that the Houston PD wasn't necessarily helping them out and being like, hey, welcome. We love Mexican people. Come on in and investigate our crimes.
Not even one taco sauce, just one fucking desk. One table.
One desk with no taco sauce in it.
And then there was a point where when the Chicano Squad was just there sitting like ducks in that little tiny office waiting for assignments, and they started seeing like all this workload, these boxes of unsolved cases, and then some of these guys were not like detectives yet, but they could see how easy it was to solve these crimes.
Right.
They said, "Wait a minute, I could handle this right now," and that's what they were.
And that's what was happening.
That guy went to that bar.
Right. Yeah, and it was a lot of that where it was like, because this isn't like now when you're thinking in like. When you're like watch Colors and they're like, these people don't want to like talk to us, they don't want to be witnesses. This was these people's neighborhoods, and they were like, we want to tell the cops what's happening.
Sellouts. They will see right there. Imagine, bro, they would call them sellouts, bro. Their own people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did. They would. Yeah. Well, their own people were against them. Like, one of them, Detective Cecil Mosqueda, his mom didn't talk to him for a whole year when he first became a police officer. I mean, these are hood people, bro. Nobody trusts the cops to begin with.
You're a cop. You pissed it on Kennedy.
So yeah, and they had 90 days to prove themselves. They also had 90 days to prove that this program would work. And so they went to work right away, and they were given, within 3 days, they were given 5 cases each.
If you want to know more about this, man, you can watch the whole series on A&E, and it's on Hulu. It's called Chicano Squad. Also, there's a podcast. It's up to you guys. Want to do a podcast? I couldn't get through the first 30 minutes of that podcast. But if you want to go listen to the podcast, it's on Spotify.
Yeah, the podcast.
It's like 11 episodes. It's very.
I'll tell you the problem.
Slow, man.
The podcast wasn't even that. It was informative.
It was read, not told.
The problem that it wasn't that it was.
It was read, not told, huh?
What?
The podcast.
Yeah, it was.
Like I did a podcast, and you could tell that I wasn't reading.
It felt like it was dictated.
It was dictated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spoken word.
Yeah, it was a hard podcast to get through.
I'm from Texas.
Oh my God, bro.
You can have a drink, take shots every time the host said that they were from Texas.
Believe me, I'm from Texas, and this is how it happens. And I was like, you're from Texas, or every time, bro. It was like the cops are racist, and believe me, I'm from Texas. I could tell. And it's like, okay, we get it.
Eh? But okay, you comment on that, but there was some stuff where like when I did a podcast,
everybody's like,
I show my own opinion. You know, I show my opinions.
Right.
But didn't like the podcast was this part and the review, because I went to go listen to the review of the podcast.
Right.
With the spoilers. That's like an hour and a half podcast. They're called the Crime Writers.
Okay, yeah.
The Crime Writers podcast, and they review podcasts.
Oh, I got to hear this one then.
You didn't listen to that one?
I didn't, because you were like, listen to this one first, because
yeah.
Actually, you said, now that because you did say, I think you did say listen to this one first, but I thought you were saying,
so
listen to this one isn't that great.
Yeah, but yes, that's what I said. But on that Crime podcast, they broke it down, the whole series of that podcast, in an hour and a half. And
that's all you needed.
What they said was this, man, like the podcast took too long to get to the Chicano Squad.
Bro, I was dying. The last 3 episodes.
And they focus too much on that on the podcast. Could have just broken down like this: the Torres story. That should have been one whole podcast by itself.
Right? Yeah.
The Torres.
Jose
Torres Torre podcast.
Right. Totally.
Talk about that murder. Because that's nothing to do with the Chicano Squad.
Bro, that murder itself, that whole situation could have been its own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about it in the A. First of all, this is 8 podcasts, 8 separate episodes, all an hour something each. The fucking A&E movie or series, docu-series, 2 episodes, one of them an hour and a half, the other one 1 hour. It doesn't take that much to talk about this. And they brushed over that the Jose Campos Torres thing is what triggered this. But yeah, like they did a whole, bro, it was so much that they could have left out too on top of it.
On that Crime Writer podcast, they said exactly what I said, bro. This should be a series. I'll go watch it right now. And that woman on the show, she said that, oh, you got to have a montage, a long montage of these guys, these Chicano Squad guys, who I, these are her words, who I think that's cool. You know, you show a long montage of them walking into the men's store and picking out suits.
The men's warehouse.
Men's warehouse, and then showing those fools walking into the fucking detective squad's office with the montage and everybody just looking at them with those bad suits. And then you cut, and then it goes back to that little ass office.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, totally.
But there's it could be a good series, man. If they were to make it like a Narcos style,
it would have been a great series. It's a great story, and they could actually make a real series out of it, like an NCIS type.
Put
thing.
me in it.
Yeah, it would be.
I'll drop 40 pounds like
would
fucking
you be
De Niro.
a detective, or would you be, on the other side of the detectives, a criminal?
But I'll depend. Like, how old were these cops when they were cops? 30s.
Well, they stayed till they were old.
But when they hired them, they were in their 20s or 30s when they hired them.
They were hired in their 20s.
Okay, man.
So you'd have to be the older version of the cop if you were to play one of the cops.
I'll play the older cop when he's talking, bro. Yeah, what happened was that they threw us into the office homes then. I can see how Hollywood will make all those guys hire like the best looking Caribbean Latinos to play them.
It'd be all like Benjamin Bratt when he was younger.
Oh, you could have Benjamin Bratt, bro. You could play one of those guys.
Yeah, and it would be
Luis Guzman.
Dude, Brad Pitt would play one of them, but with like
we don't need Brad Pitt, bro. We got Benicio del Toro.
They would tan him up.
We got Benicio del Toro.
Oh, there's Benicio del Toro. Would play
oh, look up Toby Wallace, please.
Toby Wallace.
No, you know who that is, bro?
That's Benicio del Toro's kid?
No, that's Toby Wallace, bro. From
I was waiting for that.
The Motorcycle Riders.
Oh, yeah.
I met him.
Shut up, Ray.
I met him.
Did you really?
Yeah, I met him at the soccer game. And then when I remember that he was the guy that killed Tom Hardy in the movie.
That's right.
And it goes, bro, we talked about you in our podcast.
Oh, that is the guy. That's the weed smoker.
We were saying that you were that dude that's supposed to play the police Taco Bowman from the Outlaws.
Yeah. What did he say?
He goes, I saw that. Somebody showed me that.
He saw our
yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Cause
history for fools.
Fools. So we mentioned that he was that a lot of people were saying that he was playing a young version of Taco Bowman,
right?
The president of the Outlaws who was in prison right now. Look up Taco Bowman.
Who took over the Outlaws and made it from a beer drinking crew.
From beer drinking crew to a thug ass international
international crew.
Because I always thought Tom Hardy fucked up in that movie, bro. When Toby Wallace came in with his crew,
right?
Because remember Toby Wallace had a young ass headband when he was young,
right? Yeah. I think the movie actually once I read.
Yeah, because Toby Wallace said in a movie, "Hey man, I want to be part of your club," and he says, then Tom Hardy goes, "You could, but now you're friends." And he goes, "All right, so you give away your friends like that? Yeah, you can't be in it."
Yeah.
But TK member will kill, will do whatever you want.
Right.
He didn't get the future.
No, totally.
So they're supposed to go head up 1-on-1, remember? And then
yeah.
And then that fool just shot his ass.
He fucking killed him, bro. Which is kind of how it went down in real life too.
But that's how it goes down in real life. Anything, huh?
Anything,
Mob.
bro. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like everything's done. You know, like the mafia was probably started innocently, like it was a protection group. Like gangs start. A lot of gangs started innocently because they were like, we need to protect ourselves from these guys. And then it turns out that all of a sudden they're a gang as well. And now they're causing trouble. And now they're fucking shit up.
Yeah, man. So what else did you learn, bro, from the Chicano Squad?
So the Chicano Squad, bro. So this is a pretty impressive group, dude. They had 90 days to prove themselves. Within 90 days,
90 days.
They scored 40 clearances, meaning they solved 40 cases. Then over a 4-year period, they cleared their caseload by 90%, and then they kept it at 91% throughout the entire time that they were solving cases. So it wasn't like they did get lucky at first, and there were cases that were just given to them, but these guys had to work for it, and they constantly had to work for it. And at the end, they weren't even appreciated for it, dude. What's crazy, bro, is that there's one cop.
Not one statue, huh?
No. Well, not until lately. Like literally just like the last 4 or 5 years, they were acknowledged and inducted into their like museum in front of Houston's thing. But what's crazy is there's a cop that's in the Chicano Squad that's rarely talked about, and that's Bobby Gatewood. He got caught stealing money from drug dealers.
Yeah, caught what?
Stealing money from drug dealers. And so he's kind of ashamed to the Chicano Squad because he was stealing money from a lot of guys that they were working and busting. But one of the things that I wanted to point out was that they gave this guy a time and they arrested him, and he's got a criminal record, which is fine. You should do that to cops that are corrupt. But the cops who killed that dude that triggered this whole Chicano Squad happening, they got a year of probation and $1 fine, you know? So it kind of gives you an idea of how fucked up things were back then.
But you know, $1 fine, bro, in 1970 is probably $10. So.
But yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I didn't count for inflation. But yeah, they had a 91% clearance rate. They were disbanded in 2010, given that by then the diversity had taken over the department. But this was a department that didn't want to change. This is a department that didn't want to become. I recommend the A&E thing all day long. It was great. The podcast was super fucking boring, and you could leave a lot of details. There's no. Which was crazy is I watched the A&E thing, and it was just as informative and less time it takes.
I know, and especially like that person that was hosting that podcast, you're known. Why am I barely hearing about it now? You didn't promote it?
I know, that was the other thing.
Like I promoted the shit on my podcast.
Everything you do, you promote.
Yeah, like this is a very informative podcast about Chicano Squad. You should have been out there yelling it out. Why am I barely hearing it?
I would have been so proud that I did that podcast.
I would have been so proud. I don't get it.
Yeah, dude.
I'm very disappointed about that. This was a hard
one to research just simply because the programming that was out there for it, or the content for it, was just inadequate and not that
I felt
great.
like the host was trying to
push something.
Not so much push, but also save their career so they keep working. They don't want to tarnish like Hollywood gonna not hire them no more,
right?
Because they said this.
I felt like there was a lot of embellishment. You know,
right.
I just felt like there was a lot of like, this happened to me too. And it's like, I don't know if that did happen to you, but okay, we'll go with that. You know, there was a lot of like, hey, I grew up, you know, I just feel like that, you know what, man, it's okay to be like, even though I was like, for me, I never tried to push that I had a struggle because I really didn't have a struggle. I thought
you grew up in an abandoned Mountain Mike pizza joint.
No, as an adult I struggled, but I forced myself, and that was a fucking a YMCA. But the thing is, dude, is that I never like go, man. When my parents didn't have a lot of money, I was a little kid. What I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying, bro. You're saying that part of your life doesn't define you.
doesn't define me,
It
and I don't
does
have
not.
to sit there and go, "This happened to me, and I experienced this as well." Like that was the hard part. Was like I don't want. Listen, no offense to the person who
That's something you would say like if your life did not go well.
I just don't want to hear your conjecture. I want to hear
Yeah.
what the story's about.
I wanted you to say something about these asshole cops, by the way.
Right.
But you know nothing like that.
No.
And then the part that killed me the most was when the cop didn't speak up at first. The host said, "That's something that cops would do back then. They would just back each other up." And this is something that the crime writers had a problem with right there.
Yeah.
That really, that's what the cop.
Oh, did they talk about it on the other
That's
podcast?
what they mentioned a lot too.
That she,
And
yeah.
And also they mentioned that they seen this host speak up at political rallies and speak up her voice, but they were like, they didn't see that, and they didn't see that the voice on the podcast.
Dude,
but I went through it, bro, just to get the information, you know.
Right.
That's to fast forward a lot.
I listened to the entire thing, and it was really hard. I had to put it at 1.5. I put it all the way at 1.5 speed. I usually put it to 1.2 when I need to finish, but I put that thing to 1.5.
Mine was fast, bro. It sounded like an auction.
This was the first time I did research for the podcast, and I actually felt like I was studying for an exam.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was just like, this is, and then even last night, bro, it was like by the time I got to the A&E documentary, I was burnt out, and I was just slugging through it, dude. But I think the group deserves more credit and recognition than it's gotten so far. The Chicano Squad's fucking rad, dude. Those guys are fucking dope.
And if they do a show about it, I hope they don't soften it up, man.
No, I hope they don't either.
You gotta show it, bro. You gotta hear the WB,
bro,
and I don't mean the Warner Brothers.
There's one case though that I did really like, and this is like a TV worthy case. So, and this is so like almost typical, or you would go, oh, this works. So this lady is watering. Like her husband comes home late from work. She puts the kids to bed. She's got 4 kids. They have a 2-bedroom apartment. They're very poor. In this small neighborhood. She puts her kids down for bed. They got a brand new baby. Husband comes home. She kisses him. He's now in with the kids. She goes out to water the yard. A homeless lady walks by her, a young girl. And she asks her if she speaks Spanish. She's like, yes. She's like, I'm homeless. I ran away from this gang. I'm from Mexico City. I don't know where I'm at. And the lady's like, well, come in and I'll feed you. And then she starts to feel sorry for her, so she lets her stay the night. And the dad is like, no, let's give her money. Let's get her the fuck out of here. I just don't trust this person. Well, the dad tries to stay awake, but ends up falling asleep. The girl steals the baby and takes off back to Mexico.
Shut the fuck up.
Bro, and that's the one thing about the podcast the only thing that I did like about the podcast that was cool was they kept having this girl speaking for the lady, like, yeah, my mom did this, my mom did that. And then, but it ended up being the little girl that was kidnapped. So what happened is that the girl goes back to Mexico, takes the baby back.
They sold it?
The fucking Chicano Squad gets involved, even though it's they didn't sell it. Even though it's not a homicide case, the Chicano Squad's like, we gotta do something.
They go to Mexico?
They track the fucking baby to Mexico. They hit up the FBI and say, hey, there's an international kidnapping. There's a baby from America that's in Mexico right now that was kidnapped. FBI goes, we don't have anybody speaking Spanish today. Call us tomorrow. So one of the cops is like, fuck that. He goes to the news, and they put it all over the news. And for a minute, Houston starts to go wild and be like, yo, we need that baby back now. But then
I want my baby back.
But then one but one bigger incident happens. Chili's. And I don't know if you remember this happening. I don't remember if it wasn't Chili's. Do you remember Baby Jessica?
Yeah.
Baby Jessica happened in Midland, Texas. A few cities over, and it drowned out this baby being kidnapped and taken back to Mexico. So once again, the Houston PD was like, and FBI and everybody was like, nope, we don't care about that baby. So the Chicano Squad got money, got on the plane, and got that baby and brought it back to that mom. That's one of the dopest cases. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that'd be the whole movie right there, bro.
Right? Oh, that would be a good movie with the Chicano Squad. Yeah. But yeah, They did a lot of cases like that. There's a whole like Colombian invasion that happened in Houston. Where they had to fight off the Colombians.
Because the 70s was the time when that one drug dealer, Rafael, bro, from the border. From
Batista or something like that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But that's another story on the history for Foos.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Chicano Squad.
Thank you for watching. We love
There's
you
more information out there on Chicano Squad, but you got to find it for yourself because this was a hard one.
Yeah, we were failed by the system on this one.
Yeah, we had so many little to work with.
Yeah, we did have little to work with.
Like only one podcast about them?
There was only one podcast, which is weird.
Like, wish I could interview one of those cops.
Yeah, totally.
Like, have him like here and go, listen, bro, got you a good suit.
You know what? Once we get our Patreon up, maybe I might have an interview for you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, man.